Welcome, everybody, to the Redzone Report, brought to you by PLB Sports and Entertainment. The makers of Josh's Jacks, the JA17 line of coffee, and the Stephon Diggs 14 line of hot sauces. Welcome to the show. Enjoy. Welcome, everybody, to the Redzone Report, the built-in Buffalo postgame show. The Buffalo Bills just defeated the Dallas Cowboys 31-10. We're here to talk about it. With me today, as usual, my man, Akeem Richens, co-founder of Built in Buffalo, and we are bringing him in right now. Let's go.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Akeem Richens, Redzone postgame report, myself, Izzy. If you don't know us by now, please get to know us. We are Built in Buffalo, and what a day, right, Izzy? What a day for the Buffalo Bills players, the coaching staff, the organization. Just a great wire-to-wire victory from the Buffalo Bills. 60 minutes of football, and I'm excited that I was able to witness that. Izzy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing much better now. You know, earlier today I had a migraine. I woke up not feeling great. You know, I was sick all week. You know, last week I was starting to get sick when we did our show, and so I was a little brain farty. But, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, we deal with it. I took a nap from like halftime of the Dolphins game all the way till about 10 minutes before our game started. And I woke up feeling much better. And then the Bills went out there and they made my damn day. They ran the ball all the way down the Cowboys' throat. They ran the ball down their throat so hard it came out their ass. The Bills went out there and handled business. As you said, Josh Allen didn't have to have a big day, and he didn't have a big day, even though he still had 2 touchdowns and no turnovers. So, yeah, we're going to talk about it, man. It was an awesome day.
Yeah, it was most definitely an awesome day. We got to see the Buffalo Bills in a different light, in my opinion. I always looked at the Buffalo Bills as their team playing in the cold weather and playing in that type of field and the type of environments that we know that could be in Buffalo. I always wanted the Buffalo Bills to be a physical team, to show a physical presence. And not saying the Buffalo Bills weren't a physical team, but the Buffalo Bills wasn't a physical team you would mention in the names of physical teams in the NFL. And today, the brand of football that they played, the style, the physicality, the nastiness, even in some of the penalties. I'm sorry, Dak Prescott. We apologize. But I appreciate the nastiness from the Buffalo Bills, and they displayed a physicality I haven't seen probably in a decade. It's been some time. Deion Dawkins and the play where the Dallas Cowboys guy got hurt. I apologize. We don't want guys in the NFL to get hurt, but the reason he got hurt was because of the dominance on Deion Dawkins' part on that play and the physicality that they brought. That is something that I wanted to mention first and foremost starting the game. We're going to get into certain aspects of the game with James Cook and the defense and Sean McDermott, but the physical style, the physical brand of football the Buffalo Bills played is something I haven't seen in quite some time, and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Dominate, let's go. Like that's what they did, man. And post-game show, and I quote, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up now because I wrote it and I sent it in our group chats. It was Terry Bradshaw and what was his name? Howie Long. We're talking about the Bills. And Howie Long's exact words. This kid Cook, he looked like Thurman Thomas. And he did. He's not as big as Thurman Thomas. James Cook's 195 pounds. And that boy was out there running. He was out there making people miss, blowing through people, taking people with him. That carry where he had all those boys on his back, and the O-line just started shoving him and pushing him for an additional 5 yards. That was an 8-yard game, turned 13. The Bills' O-line, as you said, was nasty. They were disgusting out there. Deion Dawkins was mean as hell. Osiris Torrance didn't get mentioned in the game on the broadcast, which is a good thing. That boy was out there mowing people over. Spencer Brown out there getting nasty with people. And the game was chippy. When the Cowboys decided they wanted to fight, it didn't go well for the Cowboys. It did not go well for the Cowboys. They got stampeded, ran over, ran through, whatever you want to call it. The Bills did whatever they wanted to do today.
And James Cook, 25 attempts, 179 yards, 1 TD, 2 receptions, 42 yards, a touchdown. He was used, in my opinion, exactly how I envisioned him in terms of how he should be used. The 25 touches was like, okay, none of us was expecting that. We was talking 15 to 20 touch kind of thing because of his scouting reports. We had concerns if he can be a run through the tackles kind of guy. Can he be the guy that can run between the tackles and take the bulk of the punishment? And today he showed he can indeed run between the tackles. He can make guys missing between the tackles. Has the physicality to run through people between the tackles. And oh yeah, he can split out wide and run routes at the backfield as well and be a mismatch nightmare. Right now, James Cook, the way he's being used, and we're going to talk about Joe Brady in a minute, the way James Cook is being used and being implemented and in this offense, he is now a scary dynamic that the opposition has to worry about. If you're defensive coordinators, if you're defensive backs and defensive players and linebackers and safeties, because James Cook is a do-it-all player that is now getting to flourish in the moment, and now is his time. I'm not saying this the passing of the torch, because this is still Stephon Diggs' team. This team still runs through Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. But to have another guy come in and step up and play the way he played to a Pro Bowl level was amazing to see from James Cook.
Absolutely. And look, shout out to all the guys who joined in the comments. John McKinnon, Justin Ostrowski, and who else joined up? Ty. Man, oh man. Like it's beautiful seeing Bills fans jump on the train with us. And they joined on X. So here we go. We got some of the X people jumping in here. Hell yeah. Welcome to the party. And look, the Bills went out there, handled business. As Jerry's saying right here in the comments, nothing was forced. That's very important. The Bills took what they gave them, and they didn't give the Cowboys an option. There was no option. You were going to give us what we wanted because you can't stop us. That's just the way it is. The Bills, 31-3 until garbage time. We had Tyler Matakevich in there. We had Dorian Williams take over. We had Dane Jackson go in there for Rasul Douglas. We had whoever the other corner was. I didn't see who it was. They didn't do anything until our backups were in. Donna joined. Let's go. These Bills went out there and they showed everything. They showed their hearts. They showed their strength. They showed a little bit of weakness out there. They showed power. They showed grace. These boys went out there to play. And so I'm proud right now. I'm proud.
You know what else they showed?
What they showed, baby?
They showed that they have the ability to take control of the game and to score points on offense without Josh Allen being the focal point. And I think that is something that we haven't seen from the Buffalo Bills in Josh Allen's tenure. We always looked at him to be Superman, to be the guy to make the play, to be the guy to take the pressure off the other guys. But today, it was other guys above average talent and skill sets, and being able to utilize and maximize your player skill sets. And that's what I think, why I think we have to transition over to Joe Brady a little bit, because the reason why Josh Allen had a we've been talking about game managers, and it's been the highlight of all week with Cam Newton talking about Tua and Dak and Brock Purdy and Jared Goff and all these guys being game managers, right? And game changers being Josh Allen. But guess what? Today, Josh Allen was amongst the elite game managers you can see in the NFL. 7 for 15, 94 yards.
And a touchdown.
And a touchdown from Josh. And the Bills win 31-10 in a dominant fashion. Joe Brady, salute to Joe Brady. I want to talk about how you feel he's done with the offense thus far. And I know they dropped the ball, and Josh Allen's completion percentage could be higher if it wasn't for those drops. But I want to talk about Joe Brady a little bit and how he's evolved this Buffalo Bills offense.
So I think that the big thing, he brings energy, right? He is an energetic person and is contagious. That's not something that you develop as much as you are born with. You're born somebody who can transfer energy to somebody else. Joe Brady has that. On top of that, the game planning has been immaculate on the offensive side of the ball. He's game planning around the weaknesses of the opponent, and then he's turning the weaknesses of the offense at times into the strengths. We haven't been a running team since LaShawn McCoy was here, since Fred Jackson was here. We haven't been a running team since then. All of a sudden, this kid, James Cook, who's undersized, so is Thurman Thomas, right? Undersized running backs out here dominating teams who are hopeful to be the 1 seed in the conference. This is absolutely stunning to see. Joe Brady is taking this offense and he's maximizing the skills and abilities of the players on the team. Something Ken Dorsey did not do. Ken Dorsey wanted the scheme to speak for itself. Brady's making the players speak for themselves. And therein lies the big difference. He is empowering these players to do their best. He's not trying to say, hey, it doesn't matter who you are, just plug you in and you can run this route and then you're going to catch the ball and then we're just going to chug along. No, he's allowing the playmakers to be playmakers. And clearly to me, at this point in time, the best player on offense outside of Joshua Patrick Allen is James Cook. To me, that is clear. You're muted, boy. Brother, you're muted. Come on, big guy.
And shout out to Miss Brooke for the super chat. Super chats get priority. Already know Cowboys look lost. It was the least stressful game I watched in a while. It was nice to see. Also, hi guys. Last final on Tuesday, and I'm free. Awesome. Great to get you back, Brooke. Great to get you back. We'll talk later in the week. Appreciate the super chat. But yeah, it was definitely it was definitely a dominating performance, and it was one of those games where it didn't come down to the wire, where it was a stressful moment as a Buffalo Bills fan. It was more about enjoying the moment as Buffalo Bills fans for 60 minutes, right? And for the Buffalo Bills to have that type of game in wire-to-wire fashion where they're up and they basically dominated, it was definitely good to see. But getting back to Joe Brady, it's, I love what I see from him as well, right? Because he's understanding, number one, he's understanding who he's playing on a week-to-week basis. He understands that some teams may have some weaknesses that you may attack some weeks, that you may not attack other weeks because other teams don't possess those same weaknesses. And I like what I see from Joe Brady in terms of attacking opponents' weakness. The Dallas Cowboys had some vulnerability there in terms of rush defense, and the Buffalo Bills were able to capitalize upon that. And I like what I see with the continued usage of the motion from Joe Brady, right? Guys going in motion, everything's done with intent. Stephon Diggs is going in motion. Even if he's a decoy, he's still a focal point because he's the alpha male on the offense. So I really like everything. What about that catch? What about that Stephon Diggs catch in the rain? In the rain, yeah, Stephon Diggs, he's him. Stephon Diggs is him, and it's no question about that. And it's just everything is coming together for the Buffalo Bills offense. It's not perfect, right? It's some things that still have to be worked on, and sometimes where the Buffalo Bills did stall out. Sometimes Stephon Diggs didn't have that dominant game yet as a pass catching threat under the Joe Brady offense. So it's still some things that's to be had and to be worked on, but the evolution of the Buffalo Bills offense ever since Joe Brady has taken over is definitely something that can't be ignored, and I'm excited to continue to watch.
And are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
You ready for it? Give Brady the oath permanently. Let's go. I'm in.
Oh, let's do it.
I'm in. Every game, the offense has performed. We lost to Philly. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. Beat the Chiefs, beat the Cowboys. And the week before Philly, we played against the Jets, it was, I believe. And after we get the spanked the first time by the Jets defense, we slapped the taste out their mouth. So the Buffalo Bills are stepping up. The Buffalo Bills are doing what they do just about every year, and that's turn up at the latter part of the season. But this year, it doesn't feel the same as it did those other years. We last year felt like we limped into the playoffs, even though we won 7 in a row. Our offense now is starting to take over and dominate. And the defense, even though a lot of them are backups in there, Terrell Bernard is a starter, but the guy next to him, and Tyrell Dodson, who's the second highest ranked linebacker by PFF this year behind Fred Warner. I didn't see that coming, but he's dope. Blue Trey White, trade for Rasul Douglas. Christian Benford's having a hell of a year. Had his first interception tonight. Taylor Rapp didn't really notice us missing Micah Hyde too much tonight. Taylor Rapp played well. Was it to the usual high level that we're used to? No, but it was still damn good football. We held them to 3 points until all those boys got off the field.
Leonard Floyd, another sack.
Shaq Lawson in there. Who there was a split sack between Rousseau
and Tyrell Dodson.
Yeah. Them boys were getting after it. They were getting after it, blitzing at the right opportune moment. Shout out to Clark Shills, joined on X. Look, like I'm hyped. I'm having to keep myself composed a little bit because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But them Cowgirls can go home now. And you know what? I hope that they beat the Dolphins. But I don't know.
And as much as I want to talk about and give praise to Joe Brady, I have to give just as much praise to another guy, and that's the main guy, Sean McDermott. The scrutiny he's been under the last couple of weeks, and to be under that type of scrutiny, to go to Arrowhead Stadium and beat the defending champions. I don't care what they're going through. That's not our business. Everybody's going through something, right? To go in Arrowhead and beat the Kansas City Chiefs in their stadium and to come back to beat the red hot Dallas Cowboys, where their offense came in as one of the hottest offenses in football, dominating the Philadelphia Eagles. Dak Prescott was talked about as MVP. To put on a performance defensively like Sean McDermott and his defense put on today was a hell of a performance from the coaching aspect, the coaching perspective, and that's Sean McDermott. And we have to give him his flowers, right? Dak Prescott, no touchdowns, 134 yards, 1 interception. They didn't have much of a running game today. I know Pollard had some moments, but they didn't have much of a running game today, right? So the Buffalo Bills defensively, the way they was able to dominate, and we've been worried about Sean McDermott because we've seen it before, where Sean McDermott's defense played well in the first half, and the offense come back and make adjustments in second halves, and Sean McDermott defenses struggle. We didn't see that today. it was a purely dominant performance from whistle to whistle, from first quarter to last quarter, from Sean McDermott. And for that, we have to give the man his flowers.
Yeah, he earned them tonight. He earned them tonight. You know, he's been under some scrutiny, and as well he should have been. You know, he's the guy responsible for everything. Everything is under his umbrella. He's that guy. He has no defensive coordinator. He picked that. He had Ken Dorsey as his OC before. He picked that. He made the right move, maybe a little late, but we're still in position to win this division. So it's time for this team to turn it up and fire on all cylinders like they did tonight. John Robert asked, does Floyd have double-digit sacks now? Yes, he
does. I think he has 10.5, at least 10.5 now, at least.
He had 9.5 before this game.
So, at least 10.5. Like, and that's going to be, you know, I love what Leonard Floyd is doing for the Buffalo Bills. Brandon Beane, I give Brandon Beane some slack, but you got to give him credit where credit is due as well. We got to give him his flowers for the Leonard Floyd acquisition. I think that is one of the better acquisitions in all of football. Come in and that type of deal. I'm not sure how much he's getting paid, but it's not how much he's actually playing. How much he's worth is not matching his production. He's exceeded his expectations as a Buffalo Bill. And it's going to be interesting this year what Brandon Beane is going to do, because we know the cap is, you know, it went up to, I believe, $140 million. So I think they're going to have some wiggle room, but decisions are definitely going to have to be made for the Buffalo Bills. Leonard Floyd's a free agent. AJ Epinesa a free agent. Do you want to sign 2 DEs back to back like that? If you have to choose one DE, which one are you choosing? Right. So I think there's going to be a lot of decisions to be made, but right now we don't have to make them. And I'm glad Leonard Floyd is on this team and is able to produce at the level he's producing.
Yeah, man. And Leonard Floyd's 31, right? If you re-sign him and you can't re-sign Epinesa, that's a tough one right there, because Epinesa's been stepping up his game too. He's played 40% of snaps. He's got 7.5 sacks himself. Floyd's playing a lot more snaps. He's got more sacks though. So the production is matching the time on the field for both those two guys. In my opinion, they're both playing at a similar level. If it's me, I keep AJ. If I can't keep both, but if I could find a way to keep both, I would. If I could, I would. I feel you.
Yeah, I know. I feel you.
I have too many sacks, you know. And Shaq out there playing good today, getting in the backfield.
Like, he's on a 1-year deal too. He's going to be a free agent as well.
Yeah,
so it's going to be
get paid that much. So we can retain him pretty easily
if we wanted to. Yeah, if we wanted to.
But you know, I think he'll be back because he still produces. You know, Jordan Phillips had a good day today, but it's been a miserable season for him. I don't see him being back, but that's a different conversation for a different day. As of right now, the Buffalo Bills just beat the brakes off Dallas Cowboys and are doing the right thing to step up and get to these playoffs. And so that's what I'm worried about. I don't even care if we win the division. If the Dolphins win out and we win out, we just make the playoffs as a wild card team. Good luck to whoever has to host these Bills, because these Bills mean business.
And that's what is, you know, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Would you like, you know, for, I guess, bragging rights, if you want to talk about it, I guess you want the division, but at the end of the day, you just want to get in the playoffs. You know, you got to be in it to win it. So if you in it and we have that opportunity to get in the dance, let's get in the dance and show what we can do. Right now, I think we playing a very good brand of football. We're peaking at the right time. Von Miller, I still feel is going to get better. We're going to get AJ Epinesa back. We're going to get Micah Hyde back. We may even get Daquan Jones back. Who knows? I even seen a Matt Milano sighting earlier where he was walking around. So who knows what may happen the longer the Buffalo Bills are playing football. But right now, we're peaking at a good time, and I like what we see. And we're just going to have to continue this mindset, this dominant mindset, and have this uber focus going into and against the LA Chargers next week, Saturday, 8 p.m.
Oh, that's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Oh, I feel bad for Chargers fans. They don't deserve what they're getting right now. That product they had in the field last week against the Raiders, that was just wow. So Chargers fans, I feel for you. You know, you're gonna hit the reset button this offseason. Good luck. But yeah, this week you got the Bills. They're hungry. They got to win out. They need everything they in front of them. So you're just the next on the list. It's not personal. You're just coming out there to kick that ass and go home.
And Tracy says they see the road to the division. I can see it too. If the Dallas Cowboys, we gave him a good grubbing today. So if Dallas Cowboys can come back next week against the Miami Dolphins, I think we all got 3 games left, right? Miami Dolphins, and win that game, then all of a sudden 1 game back, and that last game of the season is for the AFC East title. So. Who knows? If the cards play right, that might be for a playoff spot for both teams. Who knows what may happen in terms of seeding? But I do know one thing: if the Buffalo Bills continue to win games, I like their chances. And right now, they got over a major hurdle these last couple of weeks, defeating the Kansas City Chiefs, defeating the Dallas Cowboys. And now we have to take care of business. These are games where we can't have no letdowns, right?
This was supposed to be our hardest game.
We cannot have no letdown games. We cannot have no New York Jet games. We can't have no. I know we won the game, but New York Giants games. We can't have no Patriots games. We cannot have no Denver Broncos games. We cannot have no letdown performances against a team we should be dominating against in terms of the LA Chargers and the New England Patriots. So we have to come out, treat them as if they were the Dallas Cowboys or the Kansas City Chiefs, and continue to get these victories, because if we don't beat them, these victories don't mean anything. So 1 game at a time, 1 play at a time, and take care of business. Thus far, I like what I see. We like what we see from our Buffalo Bills.
And the thing is that Titans loss to the Dolphins really opened up the division for us.
Mm-hmm.
It really did, because we only needed them to lose 3 games. We all just assumed it would be Dallas, Baltimore, and then Buffalo. But once they lost to the Titans, they only need to lose to Dallas or Baltimore. And in that last game, if we keep winning, it's for the division. So they lose 2 more games. Oh, well, you better hope we don't win out. But we all know the Buffalo Bills do that. They win out every year. 2020 won the last 6 games. 2021 the last 4 games. Last year won the last 7 games. This year's 5. I'm plenty comfortable.
We got to keep going. We got to keep doing it, right? We got to keep on that trajectory. And I think we will. You got
to get hot and you got to stay hot. And that's the part where the Buffalo Bills got to really step on the gas there. 2021, the Bills did. They got hot. They stayed hot. That playoff game against the Chiefs, we lost it in overtime. But we can't say that the Bills didn't, go out there and play an excellent game. They did. They just happened to lose it because the other team had an excellent game too. But last year, we lost steam. We got dominated physically by the Bengals, right? That's different than what we did against the Chiefs the year before. So it's time that the Bills figured out how to stay hot and utilize the talent to the talent strengths, not to the coach's strengths.
So I want to ask a question, and everybody in the comment section as well chime in, right? A Rich, Akeem Richens, we got Izzy, Redzone Report, Postgame show. I want to get y'all thoughts on what I'm about to say. Does the Ty Dunn article have anything to do with this? Does that article have anything to do with what's going on in terms of Buffalo Bills starting to elevate and starting to peak at the time? Did this galvanize? Did this rally the troops behind Sean McDermott? And now we're seeing possibly the best of the Buffalo Bills because of that bulletin board material? Or was this the inevitable? Was this going to happen regardless if that Ty Dunn article came out? I want to get y'all thoughts in the comment section. I want to get Izzy's thoughts as well.
So I don't know if this would have happened anyway. And honestly, at this point, I don't care. It absolutely galvanized that locker room. If anybody thought that Sean McDermott was losing the locker room, they were sadly mistaken at this point in time, because clearly when you attacked Coach McDermott, the team rallied. The team said, nah. You're not messing with my Sean. That's not happening. You're not about to be out here and put him on the hot seat, and then some bullshit article that somebody put out, some clear hit piece, is going to take my coach away from me.
What about that? Bob said, nah, it was Dorsey. You got rid of Dorsey. Dorsey's the issue. I like this. I actually like this because we're forgetting about Ty Dunn's article made us forget that we had an OC change a little bit, and I like this comment. Tracy feels that it was going to happen regardless.
I'm not against that either. But
hey, my brother Kim, I got to get my brother Kim up here. Yo, Kim, what's good, baby? Gotta get my brother up here. Am I gotten them? Gotten them? Yep, Kim. I like it. I like it, Kim.
But I think that what it did was it united the team. I don't think that it was the thing that is setting this up for what it is. I think the team would have been better regardless, but I don't know if they would have been this good regardless. Like this good is like really damn good. Like they're really, really good right now. But I think that once you attack their leader, this team was like, we ain't playing that bullshit. That's not happening. Sean's my guy. Deion Dawkins came to his aid. Micah Hyde, Josh Allen, everybody. They love Sean McDermott because he believes in them. Like you can tell he believes in them because when he's got a guy, he sticks with him. Shout out to Danny Ismail on X. Joined. Let's go. Welcome.
Hey, appreciate you, Danny. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, it's definitely great to see from the Buffalo Bills. So let's talk about what direction you want to go. You want to go offense or defense? I got questions. I got questions on both sides.
You know what? Let's go defense.
I like it. On the defensive side of the ball, what are your thoughts on the secondary today? Right? You have CeeDee Lamb out there. I believe they have Brandon Cooks. They had that dominant offense, and I was one that was worried with the secondary a little bit. I was worried that CeeDee Lamb can go off and possibly do his thing, but I really like how the Bills defensive unit really controlled him and been doing a good job controlling most receivers throughout the season. I know a couple got off, but I really like what the defensive secondary has done. Let's talk about the secondary a little bit. How do you feel about the corners and the safeties? Micah Hyde was injured. Jordan Poyer was in there. How do you feel how they're doing, and how do you feel about the secondary for the Bills?
So I think Sean McDermott called a masterful game when it came to the secondary. He I don't know if people noticed this, right? Micah Hyde went down, and Taylor Rapp really fits that Jordan Poyer role more. So what they do, they move Jordan Poyer to that Micah Hyde spot because he can play. We've seen him do it before, like last year. And they moved Taylor Rapp to the spot where Jordan Poyer usually plays in the box. And he looked good in the box, which he always has, even when he was with the Rams. So you put his guy in an advantageous position where he's used to playing and used to dominating, and all of a sudden Taylor Rapp looked like, a dominant player. Then our corners have never had to be superstar corners. They just have to be scheme fits. They have to understand the ins and outs to what their job is to stop the opposing receivers from doing. They have to understand how they can box in these opposing receivers, because the fact is we've done this before, made the playoffs, and played excellent football with substandard cornerback play. We went against the Chiefs and almost won the playoff game in overtime with Dane Jackson and Levi Wallace starting at corner for us. Like the corners don't have to be superstars. They just have to be scheme fits who can actually play the position and understand the defense through and through. As long as he got that, which with Christian Benford and Rasul Douglas, clearly you have that, because physically, Benford is really athletic, but Rasul Douglas is a 4.59 guy. He's not a 4.4 speed corner. But he knows his job inside and out. He understands this scheme inside and out. And he mentioned that him and Taylor Rapp played for the same defensive coordinator in Green Bay and in LA. And so when he got here, Taylor Rapp was able to translate the terminology for him, which is what allowed him to get up to pace with his defense. That's gigantic. So the corners don't have to be superstars or studs, even though Rasul Douglas was playing like one before he got here. And now he's still playing like one, averaging an interception per game. Christian Benford, he's like glue on these receivers. Taron Johnson is basically another linebacker out there, but a corner. But he still is effective as a corner. So when you decide to put your guys in positions of strength, and if you're going to go after the weaknesses, go ahead, because the rest of our defense got their back with Tyrell Dodson and Terrell Bernard, good luck. I wish you luck, and I don't see it being something that other teams can expose very often unless they have superstars, and the Cowboys kind of do to an extent have superstars. Now, the D line had to show up, and boy, did they ever! So,
yeah, and it's very good to see Sean McDermott get back into his comfort zone, right? I felt that earlier in the season, he was going man a little bit too much. And I don't think that is the theme of his defense. You can run it, but that's not the theme. And I think as of late, because he got back into his actual principles and getting to that zone scheme and running that zone, and now because you're running that zone, you're able to mix in different schemes and disguise coverages and run man and be more successful because of that, is because he got back to his principles and playing more of that zone based scheme. So I really like what he's been able to accomplish the last couple of weeks. The bye week, I think, was a real reflection moment for Sean McDermott. And in terms of the secondary for the Buffalo Bills, we have Trey White, who we would like to come back. We don't know to what capacity, right? We don't know if he's going to be the old Trey White or if he's going to be a shell or if he's going to be a role player. We hope we could get him back to some capacity. But we have Rasul Douglas coming back. We have Teron Johnson, who's going to be on his last year of his contract next year. Yep. He's 28 years old next year, I believe. 28 years old next year. 29 when he'll be a free agent. I think he needs to be re-upped, and that might be a discussion for sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah.
But Kyer Elam's still under contract. Rasul Douglas is going to be under contract for another year. I'm more interested to see what the Buffalo Bills are going to do at the safety position in the offseason, right? Because Jordan Poyer has a year left, but he's playing well. He's not playing bad, but he's clearly, in my opinion, lost a step. Taylor Rapp, he's had his ups and downs. So I'm interested to see how the Buffalo Bills are going to fill or fulfill the safety void this offseason. But for now, I really like the physicality in the box from Taylor Rapp. I'm not sure if he's this great coverage guy or this deep third safety, but I really like his ability when he's around the box and when he's able to attack and just play a physical brand of football. So I like the blend and combination we have thus far. I think the continuity is starting to build, and I think it's starting to show on the defensive side of the ball.
I think most of the important guys that we have that are set to return are here already. I think that there will be some additions at the positions, obviously, because you're going to lose some guys. Looking at the comments, though, got some shout-outs for people who joined on X. Jocelyn Green.
Yes, sir.
White. I'm going to go down the list real quick and then jump to your point. Coog fan, Timothy Tripp, Bubba. Welcome to the Twitter side of this thing, or the X side, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, everybody that put that's going to have to be a thing from now on. Everybody that put that join shit, we're going to have to shout them out and salute them. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it's a thing where they join the Twitter.
Oh, they join shit. Okay, got it.
So welcome to the team, everybody. We love y'all, and we love everybody on Facebook and YouTube too. It's just a different feature that Twitter's got that that ones don't have. But nice. Yeah, look, I think that you'll see Rasul Douglas back. I think you'll see Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde both gone. Unfortunately, Jordan Poyer will be a cap casualty.
You think so?
I think he's playing well, but the cap is going to really be determined by who they can keep and who they can't. And the additions that they bring in are going to be determined by that. Like, do you keep Leonard Floyd or do you keep Jordan Poyer? So that also I've got some connections to at least a player on the team who believed that he was going to be playing safety this year in Christian Benford. So we'll see what happens with that. Christian Benford, I think, is a perfect selection to move to safety. He's fast enough. He's He's good in zone, which safeties are good in zone. I like the prospects of that. I hate it when corners move to safety later in their career because it buys them a year or two tops. They've already been in the trenches for their whole career, and then all of a sudden they find themselves back there. And like Troy Vincent, like it didn't work that great for us when he was here, and so it's okay. But
is that something you would be a fan of, moving Christian Benford to safety? He's not doing bad at the corner position. I mean, I
love that he's doing good at corner, but I think he could be a dominant safety.
Really? Okay.
I think he could be a dominant safety with his skill set and his movability and his ability to read offenses. Yeah, I think at safety, he would be the perfect replacement for Micah Hyde. He'd be the perfect replacement for Micah Hyde.
Okay.
And then you could bring back a Taylor Rapp on a minimum contract because he's not earning a high value contract, right? Then you bring in a rookie to compete with him for that second spot, right? So you have your chips in a row. You got your guy that you think you can take over, and then you have another spot that with some competition. At corner, you still have Dane Jackson. You still have Taron Johnson. You have Tre'Davious White if you really want to bring him back, but I don't know if they're going to bring him back. Rasul Douglas. You could always bring somebody else in who struggled on a team. Maybe they weren't a scheme fit. All of a sudden, hey, you're a zone guy. You're on a man team. Come over here, prove yourself, and and earn a big contract after this year. They do this every year. They do it every year, and so I think that the Bills will be fine when it comes to acquisitions. We always are, and I think we'll see mostly the same nucleus of guys: Rasul Douglas, Taron Johnson, Christian Benford. You'll see some turnover at the other two positions.
Is Ty Johnson
Ooh.
the Buffalo Bills' second, third running back, depending on who you speak to, right? Where do you see him fitting in next season? Do you think he's a part of the Buffalo Bills' plans now? Did he earn a spot for the Buffalo Bills roster for next year as possibly the RB2 or 3, or where do you see Ty Johnson for this football team? Because I really like, as soon as we signed the kid, I was ecstatic for the acquisition, and I really like Ty Johnson. I always thought that he can be the third running back for the Buffalo Bills, but the more I see him is the more I'm starting to think, hey, Ty Johnson, James Cook, they're not the household names yet, but they can do some things together. I like what they've been doing lately. What's your thoughts on Ty Johnson?
In the famous words of Lil Jon, yeah, give me more Ty Johnson, baby. Look, I like Latavius Murray, good leader, and if you want to bring him back next year as your third back, because right now he's the second back, I'm fine with it. Bring him back if he wants to come back, or if he's going to retire after this year, no matter what, then fine. But Ty Johnson to me is RB2. He's 5'9", 210 pounds. So he's got the build to be a power back, and he plays with power. He catches the ball well. He's a decent pass blocker. So when Josh Allen needs somebody to cover his ass, Ty Johnson's able to pick up linemen coming into the backfield, which James Cook isn't great at. Shout out JB joined. James Cook is getting better at that, it seems, but he's still a smaller guy, so he's not gonna, be able to do that as well as someone like Ty Johnson is, who has more, more back to put into it. So I like Ty Johnson. I don't think he'd be very expensive. Johnson welcome to the party. But
Greg
McOwen, let's go. So we got an RB2. If he wants to be here, then I think that the Bills should bring him back.
And I honestly, I think he wants to be here, right? Because the one thing about this offense is it's a running back friendly offense.
Very.
If you have some skills, and if you possess certain skill sets in this offense, in this Joe Brady offense, he's going to know and he's going to maximize that skill set. I believe that playing running back for the Buffalo Bills is now a sexy option for this offense. And I like what I've seen from Ty Johnson. I believe that Joe Brady will continue to implement plays to make it easier for Josh Allen and more running back friendly for the Bills offense as a whole.
And so people were questioning James Cook's speed a little earlier. They were mentioning like James Cook. I was surprised at how fast he is. James Cook ran a 4.4240. He's not slow. 4.4240 is pretty fast.
We've gotten into a generation where everybody want to see 4.2 and 4.3, right?
Yeah,
4.4 is no more. Everybody overlooks 4.4 now, but 4.4 is still fast. 4.4 is still above average speed, and James Cook does possess that explosiveness.
Mark Mays, let's go. But yeah, like I don't know if people remember when we drafted Lee Evans, he was known as a burner out of Wisconsin. He ran a 4.4 flat. Mm-hmm. James Cook is 0.2 slower than that. And he was a burner cooking corners off the side with JP Losman just lobbing dimes. They didn't do it a lot because he wasn't really good at reading a defense. But when JP Losman was throwing deep, they were dots. They were dots, and Lee Evans was on the other end, wide open because no one could keep up with him. And that's just the way it was. It is what it is. Now, looking at James Cook, he's almost Lee Evans fast. I don't doubt his speed for a second. Now, looking at the running back room, you bring back Ty, I'm in. You bring back James Cook's gonna be back anyway because he's got 2 more years under contract. Mm-hmm. When do you think about re-signing James Cook?
I'm not thinking about it right now. I'm not thinking about it right now. I have 2 more years with James Cook. I would entertain or think about that more the year after. And again, it all depends. It all depends on the thought process of the Buffalo Bills organization. Me personally, I'm recycling running backs. It's messed up to say, and it's sorry to say, and this is why there's a lot of running backs right now that probably wouldn't want their children to play running backs because they are at that position where it's just tough in terms of physicality and getting injured and getting paid the amount of money. So I was always on the thing of, okay, we're going to recycle running backs every 4 years unless we run into somebody that is special. Now, if you run into that special somebody, then they deserve, in my opinion, to be re-signed. Now, it remains to be seen on how the Buffalo Bills feel about James Cook in terms of, is he special enough to be re-signed for the Buffalo Bills? We'll see. But I'm definitely going to wait, and I'm going to even draft. I probably even draft another running back this offseason, 5th. We got multiple 5th or 6th round picks. I'm probably going to draft a running back this offseason to bring in for competition for Ty Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely. I would too. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. The running back market at this current point in time is beginning to reset itself. None of these big running backs this year got deals. None of them. They all had to settle for the franchise tag, and then to get off the franchise tag, they agreed to supplementary deals in order to have the tag removed. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, those teams didn't sign their running backs long term. They franchise tagged them, and then they had a deal that they popped up right before the tag deadline was over, and then removed the tag. So it can be tagged again, but the market for running backs is really starting to reset itself. So you're going to see running backs have a real clear, determined market. You're not going to see any more of those Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, Alvin Kamara deals, I don't think, because teams are starting to get smart to it. Every time they do that, somebody gets hurt. Next thing you know, you're paying some dude all this money and he can't even play.
And the NFL is also evolving at the running back position. The Derrick Henrys, it's not as much Derrick Henrys in the NFL anymore, right? It's not as much Derrick Henrys and Josh Jacobs or AJ Dillons in the NFL going right now. It's more about the James Cooks, the Alvin Kamaras, the Keaton Mitchells, the Jamar Gibbs, the Devin A. Chains, right? It's the running backs that are able to be receivers out the backfield are starting to take over in the NFL. And I think that is something that running backs now can kind of hold their head to and say, hey, listen, not only am I a running back, I am a receiver out the backfield, and it's going. The NFL is going that direction. So, pay me what I'm worth or re-sign me because I am no longer recyclable because I can do so many things within an offense.
Yeah, it's the Christian McCaffrey revolution. Like when you got a guy who come out there and they can catch out the backfield, they can run between the tackles, they can run outside the tackles. But the running back position is evolving. But as of right now, that pay scale is starting to define itself. And it's looking about $10 million a year, which was what it was when Shady McCoy got his deal with the Bills. It's about $10 million a year, which is okay. That's okay. Now, the whole Ezekiel Elliott getting 5 years, $90 million, you can take that and kick boulders. To hell with rocks, you can kick boulders. Because almost $20 million a year for a running back is insane. It's insane. Sorry. I like watching good running backs, but it's gonna be close between $10 to $12 million on the high end for a good running back. And you pick your position, it is what it is,
So taking a look at the standings right now. Who's on tonight? Who's on right now? Who's playing currently on Sunday Night Football?
ESPN, Baltimore and Jacksonville.
Baltimore, and that's a big game. Okay, we're gonna have to tune in tonight. We're gonna have to tune in. Jacksonville currently sits at 8-5. Baltimore currently sits 10-3. Or they're one of the teams that's in. So I'm hoping the Baltimore Ravens can beat the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight. Just looking at today's games, Denver Broncos lost. They're 7-7.
Boom.
So we jumped them. We still have the Texans and the Colts that we're looking up against, and then we have the Bengals and the Browns we're looking up against as well. So we started a couple weeks ago in 11th, I believe. We're probably
11th today.
We're 11th today.
I believe before the game we were 11th. Now we're 9th.
Ninth. I think we're 9th today.
We're 9th.
And I like the chances. Of course, we're going to need more help, but this is kind of why I always felt that the Buffalo Bills have to win out. It can't be no 10-7 because it's too many losses against AFC conference opponents to suffer any more overall losses for the Buffalo Bills. So I think that even though teams need to lose and they do need help, everything will take care of themselves if they win out. If they win out, everything will take care of themselves. And right now, from what I see in the standings, of course, I hated that the Vikings blew that game, right? We hated some losses. The Cleveland Browns came back late and won. We hated some things, but I really like overall our chances to get in the playoffs as long as we continue to win games.
Yeah, I mean, Flacco looks for real. So, good for him on his little career resurgence he's having with the Cleveland Browns. He's got some actual weapons in Cleveland where he didn't really in Baltimore at the time. And so, good for him. I like seeing a good comeback story. So
he's trying to have this generation's Kurt Warner kind of story going on. We'll see what happens with Joe Flacco, but Kevin Stefanski, I think you got to give him a lot of credit as well for what he's able to do. Deshaun Watson, he had the rookie out. He had the rookie out there. Now he has Joe Flacco. He's had 3 quarterbacks, and the Cleveland Browns are still finding a way to win football games. That is why other teams, I'm looking at other teams, and you have to get rid of your coach. You see what's going on out here? With the New York Jets, you holding on to Robert Saleh and all these guys, and you can't score points. And we got guys on their 3rd and 4th quarterback winning ball games. So
you let Miami blank you. All right. The Bills didn't blank you both times. You let Miami blank you. Get out of here. I had so much promise for the Jets in that game. I thought the Jets might be able to fight. Like if the Dolphins lose to the Titans, who've been, you couldn't put no points, 0 points.
So I think what happened there is, obviously the New York Jets, or we thought the New York Jets defense with Tyreek Hill being out, they can definitely do something, but it's a lot different when you lose a Tyreek Hill in a game where you think he's going to play, where he practiced all week to play for, and you lose him mid-game, it kind of throws the offense off structure. I know that everybody want to get on Tua and harp on Tua and try to shit on him a little bit, but it's different than opposed to being in practice all week, kind of knowing Tyreek Hill may not play. And now you get to practice under that type of understanding, and now you can understand where you can go on offense because your best player is not there. And I think that's what we've seen from the Miami Dolphins today. They had a week to prepare without Tyreek Hill. Tua is still a good football player. They have a lot of good players around them, and they got the job done today. Hopefully next week the Cowboys can have some taste over their mouths from us giving them a spanking and handle business against the Dolphins.
From us shoving our foot straight up their ass. Taste them Buffalo cleats. Let's go. But I hope that the Dolphins lose next week. I hope the Cowboys pick up the pieces and put it together. If not, I have plenty of faith that the Ravens will take care of the Dolphins, and we'll take care of them week 18 because we just don't really lose.
So their last 3 games is Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills. They got
one hell of a slate, and for us it's the Chargers, Patriots, and the Dolphins.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills are going to win the division.
Yep. I've been telling people I got Dolphins fans.
Buffalo Bills are going to win the division, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been telling people this is what we do. The Bills win out every year the last 3 years. The Dolphins shit the bed every December because it's December. The Dolphins will suck and they'll lose. That's just what it is.
So that last game of the season, I don't want to think about it, but I want to ask a question about it. It's in Miami, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's they're gonna have. At least they have that. Oh, they lucky that's not in Buffalo.
They don't. Okay. You know why they don't have that?
We travel well. We travel well.
It's also not early September, where the Bills are gonna be frying on the sidelines like they were last time. No, it's gonna be 60 degrees. It's gonna be fucking beautiful in Miami. It's gonna be 80 on the Bills sideline. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. Dolphins fans, we're not gonna be in Buffalo and frozen. I was like, Josh is from California. All of our best players are not from the cold. If you look, James Cook is from Miami.
I think Stephon Diggs from the DC area, Baltimore area, but that's okay.
Gabe Davis is from Florida. Khalil Shakir's from California. They're not from cold places. Most NFL players aren't from cold places, but we do have enough players who are from cold places, and that's fine. I think that the Bills are prepared for the cold, and they'll be fine in the cold, but the Dolphins won't. And if the Dolphins have to travel in the playoffs, it doesn't matter anyway because they haven't won a playoff game in a quarter century. So, I don't see that changing this year. They haven't beat a good team yet. So let me know when they do. They got 3 good teams coming in. They better get that ass spanked.
Let's do what we got to do and take care of our business. That's the most important thing. Let's handle our business, and we don't have to mind other people's business. Handle your business, and you don't have to mind other people's business. And that's where we're at right now. Even though we do need a little help here and there, of course, but handle your business, and everything will take care of itself.
Bingo. So Adam Hurley, the score for the Bills game was 31-10. The score for the Dolphins game was 30-0. They beat the hell out of the Jets. They took Zach Wilson out. They were not playing around with Zach Wilson.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. If they were the Saints, there'd be some investigations going on about what the hell happened there. Because that was some Greg Williams shit that happened to Zach Wilson. That was oof. His O-line really let him down. It was awful. And then Trevor Siemian had to go in there, and we all know that he's not good. So,
yeah. I mean that's the Jets issue. We'll see what happens with them in the offseason. I know they could have helped us out today. Today they failed to do so, but we appreciate them beating Houston last week. Let us handle our business, and I think everything will work itself out. Hey, Rich, Hakeem Richards once again. Izzy, Redzone Report post-game show. What else we got? Izzy, anything else you want to touch on before you get out of here?
Next week we play the Chargers. We go to LA. So we start traveling. We play at LA, and then we come back home for the Patriots game,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go to Miami. So it's a little bit more of this back and forth, going home, playing away, going home, playing away.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bills have been much better at home than away. However, we've still won some away games, and so the Bills need to buckle up their chin straps, put in that mouthpiece, and out physical their opponents like they did today. Go out there and physically dominate the opponent, and don't allow them to get anything going.
Mm-hmm.
Use your strengths and expose their weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Chargers are reeling at this point. There's no reason why they should have any business keeping up with us.
Right. Now they have a lot of players wise. They have a lot of talent. They do have some talent there. They have Derwin James. They have Khalil Mack. They do have talent on offense. They have Austin Eckler. I know they have the backup quarterback. I don't even know his name yet. But do you have any concerns there? Because I do have a slight concern. I'm not saying that the Buffalo Bills shouldn't take care of business.
Yeah.
But
the only concern is like they have a new coach there, right? So
exactly. Just like Joe Brady, you don't know what to expect now. We don't know. Is there any point looking at film offensively? Because
so it's basically week one. You look at this like week one. We don't know what the hell you're gonna do, and you know what? We're just gonna go out there and play our game, and that should be enough.
Yeah, should be. We'll see. 8:00 next Saturday night, 8 p.m. Saturday Night Football, Buffalo Bills. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about some Saturday Night Football. It was some exciting football games on yesterday.
That's Christmas Eve, ain't it?
Next Saturday is Christmas. What's today's date? Today's the 17th.
The 17th, yeah, that's Christmas Eve, I believe.
Next Saturday is Christmas Eve. Wow.
So we're gonna be Feliz Navidad-ing that ass.
Next Saturday is Christmas Eve already. Wow.
Yeah, dude, the year's flown by.
Wow. It definitely has, man. It definitely has.
Dallas stuck around and found out they did. But yeah, just looking forward to the Chargers game. The only thing that concerns me is that they can have a new coach, and generally speaking, the players tend to rally around them. And that's fine. You can rally around them all you want, but the Bills need it. This isn't a team in the middle of the season where you fired your coach, and we're trying to find ourselves. No. The Bills are trying to find the playoffs. We're not at a point where we can afford to lose a game or drop onto a team like that. And the Bills are fully aware of the situation in which they are in. So we could lose another game and still take the division. But no, thank you. No, thank you. It's time to go out there and win every single game on the way to the playoffs. Get ourselves a home playoff game.
No, we play on the 23rd. Everybody's correcting us. We play on the Saturday the 23rd. Sunday is Christmas Eve. So we play Saturday the 20. We play Saturday the 23rd. Sunday's Christmas Eve. Monday's Christmas. So, yeah.
Okay. So I thought you said we played Sunday night. That's why I was like,
yeah, we play Saturday.
Christmas Eve. Okay, so we play Saturday night. That's even better. Even better. The big UFC fight was last night. So I ain't got no big UFC fight next week. But yeah, no, I'm just like the Bills always say, one game at a time. One game at a time. This week, next week, one foot in front of the other. Keep it moving, and that's it. Yeah, just one game at a time. Go 1-0. Take us into the playoffs. And I kind of hope we see Miami in the playoffs. I kind of hope, like, if we both make it, I hope we see them first, so we can send them home again.
I just want to get there, man. I just want to get there. I'm excited to see whoever we can see in the playoffs. Let's just get there. One game at a time, one play at a time. Let's get to the playoffs, and whoever we play, good luck to them.
Nah. They can kick boulders. Whoever we see, and if it's Miami, sorry. But if it's somebody else, sorry to you too. I don't care. Look, there's teams out there that I like, but when you play the Bills, bye. Don't care. I like the Panthers. I live in North Carolina, so I'll pull for them. But if they're playing the Bills,
bye. Of course. Of course.
So yeah, but other than that, if you got nothing else, man, we good to go here. It's a good hour. Man. We had a good crowd here with us. It's plenty of people joined us on X. A lot of the the current people here Only thing I gotta do is I told Miss Nancy Nelson Sykes, the mom of our Mafia montage Lance, that I would put the picture I took of us at the stadium for the red, white, and blue game.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Hey. Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
she's such a sweetheart. She was so nice.
Shout out to Mama.
We had wings at what was it, Duff's? We had wings at the Cajun honey butter barbecue, and I had a small beef on weck. Good night.
So, bro, how is Duff's wings? Is it good?
Duff's
It's good. The wings are good. So when I will come into Buffalo. We gonna set it up. I gotta go to Duff's. I want the best wings. I'm a wing fanatic. I want the best
Duff,
wings.
O'Neill's, Anchor Bar, and there was one other place we went. O'Neill's got pretty good wings, and Duff's wings were really good. Anchor Bar's wings are pretty good too, but they're a little overpriced if you ask me.
Okay.
Duff's were on point. You get a 10-piece wings and a mini weck.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Duff's is great. Jake says Duff's is great. Okay.
Duff's is great. That Cajun honey butter barbecue is no joke.
Awesome.
When you go, let me know so I can try and get up there too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it happen. We definitely
we gotta make it a built-in Buffalo thing like we did this past year.
We definitely make it happen, man. Definitely.
All right. Well, everybody, I'm your boy Izzy. This man over here is the great Akeem Richens. Hey, Rich, what you got, man?
Hey, man, big dubs, 31-10, the Buffalo Bills over the Dallas Cowboys. We will be back next week, 8 o'clock. It's going to be different, right, Izzy? It's an 8 o'clock game on next Saturday.
Yep, so Saturday night, Sunday morning.
So Saturday night, Sunday morning, we're going to be here. It's going to be after 11 Eastern Standard Time, but we're going to be here.
Yeah, we doing this thing.
Giving you the Redzone Report post-game show from Built in Buffalo. So from Izzy, A. Rich.
I got a 4-day weekend. We doing this damn thing.
Oh yeah, we doing it. We doing it for sure.
All right. So
yes, sir.
Go ahead. Give me an outro because you lit with the outros.
All right, man. A. Rich, Akeem Richens, Izzy, that freaking Puerto Rican, the Buffalo Bills defeat the Dallas Cowboys 31-10 and keep the playoff hopes alive. You do not want to see the Bills come playoff time. Once again, A. Rich, Izzy, go Bills.
Go Bills.